time, weather, and always glass.
Breath control and bad decisions. It's our game. With Gen X and Salty J, we'll shout it loud. A celebration of life. Come join the crowd.
Do you ever struggle with opening your over-the-counter medicine and have to resort to sharp objects to not only open the box, open the packaging, and then maybe find an adultier adult than you to open the actual bottle, and then you gotta pick through then you gotta get another sharp object to open the tamper-proof piece, and then you gotta pick out the piece of cotton or whatever's blocking the medicine? Well, today we're gonna talk about the Chicago Tylenol murders in 1982, and they're the reason why you have to do that today. Welcome to Breath Control and Bad Decisions. I'm Gen X.
Hey, I'm Salty J, and setting the scene for this, it was September of 1982. Michael Jackson's Thriller hadn't even been released yet. People are still smoking in hospitals.
Yeah.
Seatbelts are optional. See, you
Helmets
weren't
are
ready for this.
optional.
I told you I studied this. And extra strength Tylenol is America's favorite painkiller. It controlled 35% of the painkiller market. So it
Yes.
was everywhere. You have a headache, you take Tylenol. Your back hurts, Tylenol. Hungover from Boone's Farm, Tylenol.
Tylenol.
Your kid licked the shopping cart.
Tylenol.
Ty- And yeah, nobody thought twice about taking it.
Well, why would you? I mean, so the Chicago Tylenol murders, they're horrifying, and they remain one of the most horrifying crimes in modern American history, not because of any, fantastic chases or hostage situations or shootouts or anything like that, simply because it was a bottle of Tylenol. That was the weapon. It was just a regular old bottle of Tylenol on the shelves, pain reliever, what everybody took every single day, day in, day out. Millions of people took it. But in 1982, 7 people in Chicago died after taking extra strength Tylenol capsules that were laced with potassium cyanide. Just 7 people living their ordinary lives, trying to get rid of a headache or a backache. Because, like me, maybe you set the dog's water bowl down weird and your back hurt, you got a backache.
Or you moved a
No,
really heavy planter.
yeah, but it attacked the foundational trust that we had. We trusted the products that were on the shelves, and you went to the pharmacy or the store, you went and you bought your medicine, grabbed a pack of gum, bottle of Aquanet, cassette of Thriller. Well, you couldn't buy Thriller because that wasn't out yet. Michael Jackson cassette, whatever. And you went home, civilization was functioning at a normal basic level, which was a bold assumption, as this turns out. And for Gen X, this became one more brick in the wall of our low-grade existential dread that defined our childhood. The Tylenol murders unlocked a whole new category of fear because this was not a fear that it wasn't even in our
People's
society.
mind.
Why? Before then, packaging was just held together with optimism. There was no safety tamper. There was no tamper-proof, no safety, no nothing. You went in, you opened up the bottle, it was open.
Open. Yeah. Yep. It changed America.
Mhm.
Well, probably the world if you really think about it, because
It
that's not just
it
here.
it did, and it was there wasn't any security, and you think about today now, you walk into a grocery store and everything you buy has some kind of a security on it, with the exception of, like, produce, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Everything, food, every single thing, like, I legitimately at least once a day I am grabbing a sharp object to get into a piece of cheese or something normal, something very mundane that I'm eating some food and I'm yelling and shaking my fist going, "Why won't you let me get into your deliciousness?" It's
Are you
ridiculous the
kidding?
amount.
You need scissors to open scissors. It's
Yes.
bullshit.
Yes, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, today, that changed packaging forever. Forever. The tamper evidence seal became industry standard, and now opening a bottle of anything, it feels like you're qualifying for a special ops unit. There's the outer plastic wrap, glued cardboard flap, childproof cap, foil seal, cotton wad. So at this point, the bottle might as well say, "Congratulations, you've reached level 5. The ibuprofen is yours. You deserve this."
After
That
all these
the
steps.
right, the 1982 Tylenol murders is where all of this came from, and if somebody can get into modern packaging and tamper-proof medication, they deserve less prison and more of a job at NASA because it is so hard for me to get into almost anything that I open. Even milk, even a 2 even a a gallon jug of milk. Sometimes it's just the seal that you twist, the little plastic seal, it breaks and it's off. Other times, open that plastic seal, it twists off, and then there's another piece of plastic underneath that has that fake flap on the foil that I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
The
Oh,
one where
yeah.
you're supposed to pull and every single
And
time
you
I
can't
pull
even
it, it
grab
just
it.
no, it just breaks off. I'm like, "Oh, that was
Mm.
great. Cool." And so I have to resort to a knife and plunge the knife into the seal and then cut it out. I mean, it's ridiculous. It all comes from this.
So, you know how I am with my own theories. I think that
Yeah.
they probably killed a lot more than 7 people because how many people, they said, "Oh, well, they were having chest pain. That's why they died," or, because we weren't
I
randomly testing everybody for cyanide back then.
Right,
And
and you don't know. You're absolutely right. You don't know. There could have been many people who took it and because they were having some kind
other
of other
issues.
pain
Yeah.
and it killed them. And I don't know what it is and how it is in Chicago. I know certain cities and certain states have different laws regarding autopsies. So if the family wants one, they'll do one. I don't know if it's standard when it's when the cause of death is like, well, he was having chest pain, so it was probably, you know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
I don't know. So you're
They
right
didn't do
that
it
they very
on
well could have.
Yeah, they didn't do them on either of my parents. Think about how many
Yeah.
people, but the first one that they did have record of was a 12-year-old. So of course
Yeah.
you're gonna be diving in. What the hell happened to a 12-year-old that woke up with
Mhm.
cold symptoms? Like,
Right.
you know,
That had a
and
headache.
yeah, yeah. And then within hours after taking it, she's dead. It's
Mhm.
crazy.
Mhm.
And, I think the scary part of it for me is like when you think about it, it's like it's like a lottery you don't wanna win, it's whatever age, background, neighborhood, there's no connection. It's just random, like
Right.
playing roulette,
And it was
and I
only
think
in Chicago.
if you have serial killers, they always say, "Oh, they were looking for women with dark hair this age." Just the randomness of this just didn't fit a profile that you really heard about or thought about, and
Mm-mm. This is just some random psychopath grabbing bottles, taking them home, filling them with opening the capsules, filling them with, potassium cyanide, and putting them back on the shelf. And just walking out of the store. There was no there were no cameras, there were no security measures to monitor this, that they weren't even it wasn't even it came from one store, it came from several different stores in the area,
yeah.
and, I mean, to its credit, J&J responded in a way that still gets taught in business schools. They recalled about 31 million bottles of Tylenol nationwide, which cost them more than $100 million in 1982 money.
Yeah, that'd be
That's not
several 100,000.
Yeah,
Yeah, now.
that's not, "Oops, bad quarter" money, that's, "We could have bought several mansions in a small island" money, and today, corporations often respond to disaster with, "We value your trust. We're committed to transparency. Please stop posting angry comments." But J&J actually acted, and they never found them. Never found them. Never.
They might have. We'll talk about it a little bit, but it was never proven. But it's crazy that it was just like a new fear unlocked. Suddenly, your
Mhm.
medicine cabinet can kill you, and nobody thought that would be the case, you know?
Right. Can you imagine in all of history of medicine being available over the counter until 1982, there was no safety packaging
Yeah. Well,
until 1982. Think about that, really think about that. It was just, "Here, we're putting this product out. Anybody can open it, get into it, do whatever the hell they want, and it's just here on the shelves, do whatever." No safety. No safety packaging until 1982
Yeah.
after this incident.
Well, like, back then, you didn't worry about active shooters in schools, and now you do. It's like, back then, it was like we were scared of strangers
Mhm.
and killer bees.
Yes, I remember the killer bees.
Quicksand. I don't know if we were scared of quicksand because of video games or movies, but I know I was scared one day I was gonna
Looney
sink into
Tunes.
quicksand.
Looney Tunes.
Yeah, that's probably it. And
Looney
then
Tunes had me believing quicksand was gonna be a bigger problem than it actually is. Same with, In Search of and the Bermuda Triangle. That show In Search of by Leonard
oh,
when Leonard
yeah,
Nimoy narrated, I was like, "Man," I mean, I really thought the Bermuda Triangle was gonna be just a huge problem. I really did. I
yeah.
was like, "Man, that's a big major deal. That's a huge thing." It's not at
I
all.
was I was scared of that too now that you brought
Yeah.
that up. And,
Yes.
like razor blades in your Halloween candy and
Yeah.
which never, never. And then all of a sudden it's like poison medicine. It
Mhm.
it just you know, but speaking of how we didn't worry back then about active shooters, well, now you do, but that's because of so many copycats. And so
Mhm.
now they worried after this about copycat killers, and they actually had some that tried. I don't know if they succeeded. I'm sure somebody has, but they did have copycats after this, which is absolutely terrifying. It gives
Mhm.
people an
It
idea,
it
and then
gives people an
they
idea.
and and it was kinda crazy because the hospital started issuing warnings, and then the police were actually driving around with loudspeakers to let people know. We didn't have text or,
Uh,
like
uh-uh.
can you imagine, like, a car driving by, like, "Don't take your Tylenol, you will die," like, that is just unreal, and if it happened today, like, it would be viral on, like, Facebook and TikTok, and everybody would be talking about it and showing but back then, they didn't even have, like, the lot numbers, UPC codes, all of that has changed so you can track it and go back to what happened.
Mhm. And it's what's sad is that it always takes something like that to improve something, right? Plane crashes improve the mechanics and the systems in airplanes and aircraft, and food illnesses change the way food is processed and packaged, and now you have this incident which changed the way over-the-counter medicine was packaged. It's still
Yeah.
hard for me to wrap my head around the fact that before 1982, there were no safety, tamper-proof packaging of over-the-counter medicine. It was just, "We trust humanity."
Yeah. And, you know, I think the creepiest part of this one is that it is unsolved, so you're like, "Did somebody get away with this?"
Mhm.
It's crazy, and now it's like a decades-long war for arthritis sufferers, like, for 40 years, it's just gotten continually harder to open bottles? It's like, push
Yeah.
down,
It's it
turn it
it is,
left,
it's
turn it
ridiculous.
right, recite the Pledge of Allegiance, sacrifice a
Yeah.
goat, like
Give us a blood
and then
donation.
yeah, but then you hand it to a three-year-old and they just, like, open it and hand it back.
Yeah. I wish they made an option for people that did not have children in the home that was just like, here's some pills. Here's a
Yeah.
bottle. It has tamper-proof seal on it, right? But the lid itself is just a normal lid.
When I die, they're gonna be like, "What was her cause of death?" It was a mild headache, and she couldn't open
She
the
couldn't open the
Advil."
bottle. Yeah. I mean, that's exactly it. I have a med that I take that has it's a safety bottle cap, but you can jailbreak it.
Yeah.
So, every time I get it, when it's refilled, I have Eric jailbreak it for me so I can open the damn thing. Because
Oh, that's cool.
once you get through all the packaging, that cap is still obviously childproof, but you can jailbreak that cap, and he figured that out, and I was like, "Jailbreak this for me because 'cause I'm tired of fighting this every damn morning."
I bought this fuel additive for my car yesterday, and I opened it, and then I sealed it back, and then I went to go open it again later when I got a funnel, and I could not open it. Like, I sat there for 10 minutes. I took it to Koji, and I thought he was just gonna open it and laugh at me, but he couldn't open it. So, anyway, I have to return it because I can't even open it to use it now, like, the cap is
Ugh,
defective. So,
That
thank you,
that's ridiculous.
Tylenol murderer. Now I have to
Yeah.
go back and return it, and I hate
It's
returning stuff. It just is
it's when you buy like, when you buy shower gel or anything for the shower that, it squeezes out, not a pump, but a
yeah,
squeeze. It always has that seal
yeah.
on it, but you don't realize it until you're already in the shower and you're soaking wet and soapy and you're trying to open the thing, and it's like, I have to use my teeth
Well,
to get to get traction on it and then open it. It's ridiculous.
I always had a fear, I don't know if it was in a movie or what, but that somebody would replace the shampoo with Nair, and then I would be bald.
I think that was always a running joke, like a practical joke that somebody's gonna do that, but Nair has a very, very
Yeah,
distinct scent, a very distinct scent.
yeah. Like, acid shit. I
It
don't know.
yeah, it
Yeah, I
just
hate it.
there is a it smells like skunk. It's just a very you would absolutely know if somebody put that in your shampoo, you'd be like, "This shampoo smells rancid."
Yeah, I think, like, the biggest takeaway from this is that, like, before this happened, everybody just thought that things on store shelves were safe, like, you're going to a
Mhm,
store, it's safe, and then it shattered the trust of everybody, and
mhm.
I don't know, it really changed a lot of people.
It did, and you have to wonder do you think the person who did it, do you think they ever bragged to anybody about it? That a lot of killers can't keep their
Probably.
mouths shut. They 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 will insinuate that they've done something as the case gets older and older because they think they're safe, and that's a lot of times that's how they're caught is because they're yapping. And, it seems odd to me that somebody like this, who clearly thinks they're smarter than everybody else, did this and got away with it and then said nothing about it to anybody over the course of their lifetime.
Which is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. I don't understand the psychology behind it. Like, when I was studying to do this episode, it's not like they got notoriety
Nope.
or like was it just to do fear? Like, I don't
I don't know. Or did they get their own notoriety in their because a lot of killers do is they keep keepsakes, and so every time that was in the newspaper, they would cut it out and put it in a book and be like, "Haha, that's my," you know what I mean? And that's
yeah.
what they do, and you have to wonder if that was what they were looking for or just the, "I did it and I got away with it, and I am smarter than everybody else because nobody suspects that it's me. Nobody knows. Nobody." I mean, how do you even get your hands on that? I don't know, and I'm asking from a genuine place of ignorance because I mean, I know in the 19th century could walk into the drugstore and be like, "Hey, man, I need some arsenic because 'cause I'm killing some rats." And be like, "Here you go, here's arsenic." And, you know,
I'm pretty sure
those
you
things
can
have
still
changed.
well, I mean, actually, no, I watch too many crime shows. You can
Yeah.
still get that stuff
People
pretty
are
dang
still getting
easy.
it, and I just because there's no electronic trace. Right
Yeah.
now, there are electronic trails of everything, even if they think they've factory reset and got rid of everything, it still lives. Back
Oh, yeah.
then,
They can even
that
test,
that
like,
didn't
for
exist.
additives and stuff. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
So so just like I did on the Challenger episode, I know you wrote this episode, but I looked up to talk about the people that died because
Mhm,
if we're talking about this, it's a heavy subject, and
mhm.
we're always going to have some humor, so we are going to talk shit about how we can't open bottles and all
Yes.
of that. But the first victim we talked about, Mary Kellerman, she was 12 years old and she woke up feeling sick. Her parents gave her an extra strength Tylenol and she died the same day. And then a 27-year-old, Adam Janis, he died from minor chest pain and he died shortly after he took it. Well, Adam's brother Stanley got home from his funeral, took a Tylenol, and died from the same bottle. And then Teresa, Stanley's wife, also took one from the same bottle and died. So 3 people, it came from the same bottle, which is
Mhm,
insane. Then there is Mary Reiner. She gave birth, took it for pain from giving birth. 27-year-old dead. Paula Prince was a flight attendant, and she was on her way home from work. And then Mary McFarland, 31-year-old, she had a headache. So it wasn't like something that would they wouldn't have died if they wouldn't have had the medicine. It was just completely senseless feeling, you know?
Right. And there was nobody was targeted. Like, nobody they couldn't say it was supposed to be for we've narrowed it down. We think they were tracking this. No. It just nope.
It's I was kinda shocked at the 3 people from the same bottle, like, I mean, I shouldn't be, because they didn't know, and then they all were probably having headaches and struggling with that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that family?
No, no, like, it's just one hit after the other, which is
Yeah.
how life goes. I was talking about that with somebody today. It's like, when it rains, it pours, like, you know, my son's car blew up, and then now my transmission light came on, like, it's always
It's
everything comes, in waves,
it
but,
does.
that's one hell of a fucking wave. That's all I can say. I
It
can't
is.
imagine for that family.
And not having any there was no resolution because nobody was ever arrested. There was one suspect, James William Lewis, who sent an extortion letter demanding money. Very subtle. But suspicion isn't proof, and the case, it's still unsolved.
Yeah.
I don't I don't know how far they dug into him or if he was just jumping on this band like, I don't know. I have no idea, but it's one of those things that turned all of our parents into detectives, "Did you open the toothpaste?" "No, Ronald used it." "Okay, don't open anything that isn't if it doesn't have this on, make sure you don't" just it was a wave of fear.
Well, so, he did the extortion letter demanding $1,000,000 and he
Yeah,
would stop the poisoning.
yeah.
And
Very
they did
subtle,
track
very
the
subtle.
letter to him. Yeah, and they arrested him, but they couldn't prove that he poisoned the Tylenol, like, there was no fingerprints, no witnesses, no cyanide that they
Like you're
could.
gonna have a witness to dude doing this. "Yeah,
Yeah,
I was in
but
his basement while I was putting this in the capsules."
he did have a background of fraud, deception, and really bizarre behavior, so he
Yeah.
really wasn't, like, a upstanding citizen, and he was also suspected in the death and dismemberment of a man, even though they never convicted him of that, but they said that he was intelligent, he was manipulative, and he did have the mental capacity to, like, come up with complex schemes,
Mhm.
and they felt like he fit the profile,
Yeah.
but the poisons were in the Chicago area, and he was living in New York at the time. And, back then you couldn't track the traveling. Like, now there's all these cameras where you can read the tags and, like, tell where people have gone or GPS on their phone, but
Yeah, I
there's
mean,
no
and
way to know.
they could have checked airlines to see if he flew, to see if he had flown into Chicago and then placed all these bottles. They easily could have checked airline ticketed passengers if he traveled under his own name, which, again, as somebody who's not a criminal, I don't know how people travel under a different name when they're traveling by air because 'cause I'm an idiot. I don't know I don't know how I don't know the level of complication to do that, be like, "Yep,
Well,
that's me." Like, I can't figure that out.
just like this, I think that there was things that happened. Well, there was things that happened. There was a story about this guy that killed his mom by putting a bomb in a suitcase. I'll have to tell that
Oh,
story
yeah,
one day.
no, that's the airline, that was '50s, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, he was
but
trying to
that
get
really
he wanted her
changed.
life insurance, yeah,
That was crazy. That is a
yeah,
wild ass story. But so that's like the time where they started trying to track who was actually on airplanes,
yeah,
and
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 then
it's
and the
gotten.
doing the screenings,
Yeah,
the screenings
but
for luggage
and that was crazy because you could buy back then, you could buy insurance, like, at the
at the airport,
counter when you're
yeah,
about to get on
before
a
he
plane.
boarded.
Yeah.
Also, "Hey, thanks for flying Delta, would you like to buy this life insurance in case there's an issue?" Wink, wink.
I did get her on with the
"No?"
fake ID. Now I'll go buy the insurance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, my plan is all falling into place.
Yeah, but they also thought it might be, which is why they pulled all the meds, they thought it might be a disgruntled employee
Right.
at first, and so they didn't know if it was happening at the factory when they did pull all the meds. But seriously, I wish more big companies were that proactive because they probably, you know, they probably have saved so many more lives. The way you
Mhm.
said business schools are teaching that that was like the proper response and the best
Yeah,
thing
they
they
do.
could have done.
It is still taught in business schools because think about that today. If that happened today and it was based in Chicago, they would pull them off the shelves in Chicago and be like, "Everybody else is fine," until somebody else died.
The weird thing about this to me though, like most people that commit crimes, like they get something out of it.
Right.
And with this, like there's no
That
financial gain,
but
there's no connection.
that might have been what
It's
he
like
got out of it was just knowing that he could do it.
yeah,
Knowing that he
like
did it and he got away with it.
just causing panic.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, and it's terrifying to think about, and it's the Tylenol murders taught us a very brutal lesson, and that's that evil doesn't always arrive dramatically. Sometimes it's hidden in a medicine bottle.
Yeah. I looked at the FBI profilers thing and they said that the person was organized, intelligent, familiar with cyanide, all common sense, I know,
Obviously.
comfortable with taking risks, detached from the victims, and motivated by power and attention. But the power and attention thing, like, they weren't
Well,
getting it
the
besides maybe
power
watching the news.
the power is in the knowing that he did it. That's the power. I did it and I got away with it. The attention was simply I'm being highlighted on the news and nobody knows that it's me. Or clipping out
Yeah.
the news articles and smirking, nobody knows it's me. I did this. I'm smart. I'm smarter than everybody. They'll never know.
Yeah, I mean, it's kinda crazy because you get this idea that the FBI is so powerful and they can do anything or solve anything, but they have no clue who did this, yet, my mom could tell you who lied 3 counties away
Mhm.
about leaving a cup in the living room, it just I think it makes you realize that a lot of people get away with things they shouldn't.
Yeah. Well, and I think also for at the time, nobody thought that a bottle of Tylenol would contain cyanide. So their minds weren't going in that direction. Oh, it's probably to check the Tylenol, it's probably poison. Nobody was thinking that. So
Yeah.
you have to remember that too, that would not have been on anybody's radar. That certainly not. I wouldn't go check the aspirin. Did we check the aspirin to make sure it's not poisoned? I would be suspect number 1 if I said that about somebody. "What do you mean poison aspirin? What are you talking about?"
I wonder if that hurt Tylenol to where they came up with all the other brands just because people didn't trust it, although they should if they're gonna be that reactive to it and try to
Yeah.
protect the community. I
Well,
don't
I
know.
mean, other brands were still on the market. You had Bear, obviously, and Addison was around. That's an oldie. I was 11, so I don't remember all the name brands of medicine back then. Obviously, Tylenol was the big one, Tylenol and Bear. But yeah, to your point, you should have trusted them with the manner in which they reacted, and then they produced tamper-proof packaging for everybody.
I feel like people that do this kinda stuff, they're really just weak, and it's like,
Mhm.
I I don't know
It's
how to
a it's
say it
a
except for
I'm jealous of
they
everybody.
feel
Everybody has a better life than me, and I'll show them,
yeah,
but
like, if you can't be
this is how I'm gonna
important,
do it. Right.
you just feel insignificant, so you're just gonna try to hurt others. That's what it
Yes.
feels like. I
That's
don't know.
that's and that's how I mean, that's most of them, right? That's most of them.
Yeah, like serial killers and
Mhm.
which this is a serial killer if you think about it,
Yes.
but you know what I mean.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were. It killed 7 people. That's serial killer.
that we know of. Yeah,
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 you're right, that we know of because you're absolutely right. There could have been many others.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
so the whole thing just it just taught you, "Holy crap, I'm not even safe from products that I'm buying, that we're buying at the store." And imagine parents going through their medicine cabinets and getting rid of everything in there to make sure their kids don't take them either.
Do you know? Because I don't know. Do you know if parents were really paranoid about their Halloween candy before this, or was that kind of like when people started feeling unsafe about things being packaged?
The Halloween candy was, I want to say, in the late '70s because the kid who ate a pixie stick and died, but that turned out that his father was the one who killed him. His father's the one who poisoned the pixie stick, but that
Uh,
started it. That started the Halloween candy. I remember coming home and dumping my candy out on the table and my dad going, like, holding it up to the light, making sure nothing had been like, I remember all of that, but
well, my
that's
parents
what started the Halloween candy, was the guy whose son was killed by he tried to blame it on a
okay.
neighbor, but it came out that it was him. He was the one who did it.
The real danger was just the fact that my dad would see everything I had and then, like, eat half of it.
And then take half of it, yeah. It'd be like, "Oh, you can't
Yeah.
have that. This is mine. This is mine." Yeah.
I'm not sure if this one's sealed correctly. I'm taking
Right.
this one.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you do that? "Oh, this Reese cup looks like it's been tampered with. I'm gonna put all the tampered things that look like they've been tampered with over in this pile, and then
Yep.
everything that I deem clean is gonna stay over here." No, you're right. I can't remember if my parents did that. I don't know if they did or
My
not.
dad
I
100%
will
did
have to
it.
ask them because I very much take after my dad, and that is absolutely something he would do, because I would do it if I had kids. I'd be like, "Oh, yeah, that look at that. See that little rip right there? Yep, that's from Tupperware. That's gotta go over here."
I think this is probably one of the biggest criminal investigations ever. And, because they had, like, the FBI, the state police, local police, and it's like, how do you have all those people and 40 years later, you have nothing? It's just I don't know. It
Yeah.
still kinda baffles me
It's
how
it's
life
still
can
it's
go like
still
that.
it's still really scary that somebody did this and got away with it, and God only
Yeah,
knows what
and
else they did.
yeah, and because of them, now we got, like, the tamper-proof seals
Now
and,
we
like,
now we now
glued.
everything is tamper-proof to the point where I'm yelling at string cheese because I can't get into it.
Yeah, and then it's got, like, shrink wrap around it, and then there's,
Yes.
like, foil once you get past that, and then it's, like, the child-resistant top that you have to turn just right while you
And then
squeeze
and
it,
then,
like, it
there's a master lock they need a combination for to get past that. I mean, it's ridiculous. You need, the DEFCON codes to get into shit, and it's I don't wanna say it's overboard because it's for our safety because of this kind of shit, because people suck, but when I'm having a breakdown in the kitchen because I can't get into string cheese because it's like, "Easy open," and I'm like, "The fuck this is? There's no easy open here. There's no loose ends. I can't give me the scissors. I can't get into my fucking cheese. Why won't you
so
let me get into your deliciousness?"
this obviously is not nearly as traumatic as the Tylenol murders, but on TikTok, there was a person, I don't remember even if it was a male or female, but they videoed themselves opening a ice cream at the grocery store, licking it, putting the lid back on it, and then putting it back in the case.
I
And
remember that being on the news. I remember when that happened. Yeah.
yeah, and that had them recall all the ice cream and then
Yep.
start making sure that each one had, like, a plastic
A plastic
seal on top
seal.
of just having the lid. So it's like, this is why we can't have nice things, you
It
know?
is, because
Like,
people are terrible.
and that's bad for the environment, but it's just like we don't have trust.
It's part of why Gen X is the way we are. It taught us trust but verify, read the fine print, check the seal, and if anything opens too easily, maybe don't take it, maybe don't eat it.
You don't think about it that often, but every time I open a bottle, I do check the seal.
I do
So
too. If I
so it
open like
has affected me.
a little soda bottle or a water bottle somewhere, if I'm out, like if I in an airport and I buy a little bottle and I open it and I don't hear the click of that
Yeah.
plastic ring on the bottom, like, shit, did I have the ring? Was that ring Was that already open, or did I
Or
just not mentally hear, did my brain just not hear it in the you know what I mean? It's and I have actually tossed I'm like, "Okay, I don't remember hearing that click, I can't drink that."
yeah, or like you open the cap and the plastic ring that's supposed to protect it comes off with it, and you're
Yeah.
like, "These are faulty. Am I even protected?" If something could go wrong with me, it always does. I'm just saying.
I
Sometimes the
I
safety
hate
things fail
I
too.
hate fighting safety things, and it's always the where they have the foil seal that have the little tabs? Like, they'll have 4 tabs
Yeah,
around the and you can those tabs are glued, you can never get to them. Those tabs don't work. I always have to take a knife and cut it and do that. The tabs never work. If it's a little teeny tiny tab that I can get to, maybe I can do it with my teeth. I'll grab it with my teeth and pull it. I mean, it's just things are really difficult to get into, and I'm glad that they are difficult to get into. I really am. I'm not knocking it, but this is why the 1982 Tylenol murders are why we fight to get into things, including food, beverages, especially drugs, especially over the counter stuff. But I mean,
yeah.
everything. Everything is sealed. As it should be. As it should be. The only thing that's not sealed though, which I find odd, is like fruit, like strawberries and blueberries and like there's in the little plastic clamshells. Anybody could just get in there and do
Yeah.
whatever.
I hate that everything's sealed. I feel like there's all these like microplastics and poisoning, and I'm pretty granola. I hate a lot of plastics. Like,
Yeah, I
I
do
will
too.
never put plastic in the microwave. I always use glass. I'm probably a little bit OCD, but I hate that everything like vegetables and fruits are wrapped in plastic. I like when you see other countries wrapping things in like banana leaves and degradable stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it
I
it
so I take
it's sad
I
we
take
have to
my
do
own
that.
produce bags to the grocery store that are, they're like a net. It's a cloth bag, but they're netted. They look like net,
Oh,
so
that's
they're
neat.
open. So I have, like,
Yeah.
6 of those, and so that's what I put my produce in, and I know that the cashiers hate me because they can't see the code on them, so when I put it up there, I'm like, "That's portobello mushrooms, that's avocado, those are Honeycrisp." I tell them exactly what it is as they're reading it so they can get the code, but
So you
I won't use the plastic things. I won't use those plastic
so
bags. I
you're a
have
little
my
bit
own.
granola too.
I recycle everything that can be recycled, and I will dig shit out of my garbage that somebody else put in there that is recyclable. Like, what is that
Yeah.
plastic bottle doing in the garbage? That's recyclable. It galls me that my city does not do glass recycling at your door with our other recycling. We have to take it to
Yeah.
a separate facility, and I have driven around in my truck with a 50-gallon tote full of empty wine and beer bottles and liquor bottles, and then by the time I get to the big glass recycling dumpster in front of the grocery store, I look like a hopeless alcoholic. And the other thing is that dumpster, the opening is taller than I am. So, like, I have to bring a step stool or something so I can stand up so I
Oh
can empty
gosh.
that 50-gallon bin into there, and then I can just go, "Fuck it, I'm not doing it. This is ridiculous. Fucking pick up the glass with the rest of the recyclables. This is ridiculous."
Feel like, it's kinda like that one bad apple spoils the bunch. Most of the population are good-hearted, trustworthy people that would never even imagine doing anything like this
Right.
ever.
Right.
But you have a nation in fear,
Mhm.
and I think the takeaway from this is to not lose hope in humanity because of shit like this, because it's not common. It doesn't happen all the time.
Right.
And the fact that it did, it's scary. It's scary as shit, but it's not normal. And we always have to remember that.
Right. It's certainly out on the edge of the periphery of normalcy, and what we did get out of it was everything is tamper-proof. Everything. And this is the reason why everything is tamper-proof. And we should be glad for that
Yeah.
because there are way too many psychotic people now, I think. That's my
Yeah.
personal opinion. If you wanna come at me for that, that's fine. There are way too many fucking crazy people that do ridiculous shit for TikTok videos.
I'm coming at you. I'm just kidding. No,
Bring it on.
I do wait, I'm gonna do the hand gesture. Um, I think things like this give us a bad taste of what humanity is, but
Mhm.
when you really look at the people that surround you, think about all the good. And, like, I would tell my kids, I remember watching the news with them about the marathon bomber, and I'm like, "Don't look at the bad guys, look at how many people are rushing to help." And,
Yes.
even with this case, imagine how many people were trying to track this down, trying to make sure the medicine's pulled, keep everybody safe. This is like probably one asshole and then thousands of people trying to stop them, you
Mhm.
know?
And an entire
So,
company that pulled every single box of the product from every store shelf in the country. That wouldn't happen
yeah.
nowadays. They would be like, "Well, it was in Chicago, so we'll pull the Chicago ones only. Till somebody else decides in another city, then we'll pull those." Like, I really do believe that any other company would give you the same bullshit. "We take this seriously, we're looking into it. We've put a recall out. We're pulling these." I don't think they would yank every single product in every part of the country because I firmly believe they would stick with "Well, it's just happening in Chicago, so we're just gonna pull those."
Yeah. Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I'm cynical, but I'm cynical because 'cause I'm Gen X. It's just
Yeah. I think we all are.
cynicism is our emotional sunscreen.
That's true. I never thought of it that way. Yeah. It's self-preservation,
Yeah.
protection, you know. We couldn't take Tylenol, but we could still stay out till the lights turned on and not wear a helmet riding our
That's
bike,
exactly right.
not wear a
Stay
seatbelt.
stay out as late as you want, just don't take any damn Tylenol.
Did you know when this happened, people could still smoke cigarettes in the hospital? Like, I still can't get over some
Oh,
of that
yeah.
stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, hell, my first vehicle had, like, 6 ashtrays in it, and it was I bought my that was in 1988, and it was a 5-year-old car. I bought it was built in 1983, so, yeah, I mean and then about 10 years ago, I bought a '68 Camaro, and that thing was loaded with ashtrays, just fucking ashtrays
That's a
everywhere. I'm
badass
like,
car,
"God
though.
damn." Everybody can you I was just imagining everybody back then just piling into that car and just lighting up
Flicking their little cigarettes the whole
just
trip.
everywhere. I'm so glad it didn't smell of old stale cigarettes, but every time, like, everything I look like doors, the dashboard, even the back seat, I'm like, "There are fucking ashtrays everywhere in this car."
You said it's a 1968. I was just thinking because you haven't done any of the music lists lately.
No, and Eric actually reminded me of that the other day. He's like, you haven't done the music list." I'm like, "You're right, I forgot." A typical Gen X. I saw a squirrel and I forgot to do it.
Alright, well, so while we're on here, I just looked and said muscle car playlist for 1968, so let's go through this.
Alright, go ahead. You do it, Julie.
Okay, you're driving your Camaro. What color is it?
Black.
Black. What kinda cigarette you smoking?
Marlboro Light.
It's 1968. Okay. Alright. So you're listening to Born to Be Wild.
Alright.
Perfect. Okay. Or Sunshine of Your Love by Cream.
Okay.
I don't know that one. Do you know the
You
words? Can you sing
if
it?
you heard yeah, if you heard it, you would say, "Oh, I know that." Yeah, it's very
Can you send
psychedelic.
me give me, like, a line.
Uh, "I'll be waiting for you to be where I'm going in the
I do! I know
sunshine."
it!
See, I told you. I told you.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And then I love this
Sorry,
one.
that was
Peace
also very flat.
No, I love it. It's better than me. I'm, like, fucking tone deaf. Thank you. If I did it, which I didn't know
Yeah,
the words,
I'm not
so
actually trying to sing. This is just me helping Julie.
yeah. Yeah, because I need all the help I get. Piece of My Heart, Janis Joplin.
Yes, that is on my, playlist. I love Janice. I have her 2 of her albums.
Okay, I absolutely love when people do this acoustic. Hey Jude by the Beatles.
Yes. Yes.
Jumpin' Jack
That
Flash.
was written for Julian Lennon by Paul about it was John and his first wife were getting a divorce.
I love that
Yeah.
song. Magic Carpet Ride, Steppenwolf.
2 Steppenwolf songs on there. Alright.
Susie Q. I don't know that one. Although we
CCR.
called my Aunt Susan. Yep,
Is that CCR, Susie? Yeah. You
yep.
that's another one you would know if you heard it.
People Gotta Be Free by the Rascals. Miss Robinson, Simon and Garfunkel.
Mrs. Robinson? Did you say Miss
Oh,
Robinson?
yeah,
That'd be much
Miss
that would've been a
Robinson.
much different movie.
Hello,
Well, she's
Miss
single, so
Robinson.
it's fine. Everything's fine. She was single.
And Chain of Fools by Aretha Franklin. I love her.
I used to
I
sing that
love
song
her.
too. I had a cat named Chainsaw, and I used to sing Chain of Fools to Chainsaw, but I would go, "Chain, chain, chain, chain of saws." He hated me. All my pets hate me because I sing ridiculous shit to them, every single one of them.
That's so funny. Yeah. So that's yeah, I don't remember, like, listening to music in 1968 because I wasn't born
Well,
yet,
you weren't
but you
alive.
started
I
talking
wasn't
about
either.
yeah, but I was just thinking about the car and who like, when you bring up, like, a old classic muscle car, which I love classics, but I just try to think of, like, people rolling it out of the dealership, what they're putting on, like, what they're wearing, little sunglasses, like I don't know, it's like a whole vibe, it's cool as shit, so,
Yeah,
like, you look at car shows and you look at the little old men sitting with their car, and some of them will tell you, "I bought it from the dealership," and I'm like, "What did
I
he
bought it.
look like at the time? What was he wearing?
Yeah,
Did he drag his little
I bought it
fishing pole?"
brand new from the dealership.
"You lie, you a lie." But, no, I love classic cars, so that's pretty neat. I would get a '62 Chevy pickup truck with the
Yeah,
little wood bed. That would be my classic car.
we have, well,
Yeah.
they're not mine. Eric has classic Land Cruisers that he's rebuilt, so we have those 2 as
Oh,
well.
really?
Yeah,
Well, that's awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome. Alright, well, I guess we finished talking about the Tylenol, but you know me, my little ADHD brain, you mentioned that
We
as you were writing it for a topic, and I read so much.
we
Like,
well,
it's
and I
crazy.
figured that you would. I knew that if you looked at it and were like, "I don't really wanna do that," you would have told me. I'm not comfortable doing that. I don't really know much about it, but I know that if there is a subject you aren't familiar with, that you'll go down a rabbit hole. That's why I don't
Well,
when I'm writing it, I don't go crazy because 'cause I'm like, it's bullet points just to kinda keep us on target, and then you'll do your own reading, so you add your own information, and I don't spoon feed it. I don't spoon feed it to you, just like you don't spoon feed it to me either, because part of talking about stuff is learning on your own too, so you come to the table with some, some of your own takeaways.
podcasts shouldn't be scripted. It
Mm-mm.
should be, like, authentic conversation, and, you know, I might say some wrong shit sometime. You know I'll say names
Oh, we're
wrong.
gonna say wrong shit. I mean, I'm sure that there will be people who are like, "Nope, that's not what happened," and that's fine. It's just don't be a dick about it.
Yeah,
'Cause
but I do
we fight
try
back, we don't care. We fight back. We're Gen X, we don't give a shit.
I do try to research everything and make sure it's 100%
Yeah,
on point, but I will
it's
mispronounce the fuck out of a name
yeah,
or a song lyric, it's gonna
we try
happen.
to be accurate in our we try to be accurate in our reporting because 'cause we're Walter Cronkite, and we just try to be accurate and not give you false information or blatantly incorrect information, but there's gonna be times where we might get 1 or 2 things wrong, and we don't mind if you point out something that is incorrect as long as you do it not in a don't do it like a dick. If you do it like an asshole, we're both gonna come at you. That's all we're
Well, we
asking.
haven't been
Just be nice
corrected
about it.
yet. I'm
No,
sure
we
at some
haven't.
point it will happen,
You're gonna
but I'll
act
probably laugh.
as somebody I can actually, that's not exactly what happened, like, I can hear it, there's gonna be one.
You'll hear the voice when you read it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anybody that
alright.
starts anything with "actually," I'm like, "I hate you already." "Actually, that's not entirely correct." Okay. Maybe deliver
Tell
that
you what,
in a different manner.
if somebody proves us wrong on something, I will do a short little video clip and let them explain how we were wrong, and I will post it. I think that would be hilarious.
And you can do it in the voice. You can't actually do it in that, "Well, actually,
Actually,
this is really what happened, so I'm just gonna correct the record because you were
what's
stupid."
that I just pictured, like, Urkel, the little kid with the glasses, and he's got, like, his pants pulled up to his nipples.
That's always a voice that I hear in my head when it's just that, "You're not that's not entirely correct. You shouldn't do it that way because that's not right." As I spit on sorry, everybody's
I
probably like, "Ah, stop."
I
That's just
didn't
the
even
voice
know you
that's the
could do
voice
a
I hear
voice.
in my head, especially when you start anything with, "Well, actually," because
Yeah.
that they punch up actually with that it gets very nasally and it's they're building that pomposity up. Well, actually, that's how it comes across. So
I feel
we're
like
fine
that's
if
how the Tylenol killer would
yeah,
sound.
we're fine
Like,
if you correct us if we're wrong on something. Just again, just do it like a normal human being. Don't be a dick about it.
if you say, "Well, actually, we're gonna roast your ass," that's what she's saying. Fuck off.
we we try our best to present accurate information, and a lot of it is from memory. So if something is fuzzy in my memory, I will go make sure I have the right information because I'm like, oh, did I remember that correctly? I don't know. That seems weird. Is that what actually happened?
I wish we could, like,
And then I'll
talk
go
to
research it,
everybody.
and I'll go, yes, that is exactly what happened. Good for me. I
I
remembered.
wish I wish we could talk to everybody on the Facebook page before we do the episodes because, like, they have some of the funniest comments about shit we talk about too. Like, I love that everybody from our generation has so many of the same stories. It's like you could just bring up a topic and everybody's got like a trauma or a different story to it. It's pretty neat.
Right. And that's the whole point of the interaction is here's the episode, we're dropping this episode's about this, and then everybody's like, "Oh my god, so this is my side. This is my story. Here's what happened when I was babysitting, or this is what happened when I did that." And that's the best
Yeah.
part. We can't do it beforehand because then we'd have 100 different stories and we don't have it's not it's we don't have time for that. So,
So anytime
share
you
your
have to
stories
take a
in the
bottle,
group.
anybody that has to, like, go get scissors, go get a knife, go take a bottle to somebody else to open, I just want you to, like, say, "Fuck you, Tylenol killer," and, like,
Yes.
that's the takeaway I want from this. Just tell them to fuck off,
Yeah.
because yeah.
We shouldn't have to know NASA codes to get into a bottle of aspirin. It should be tamper-proof, 100,000,000,000% it should be tamper-proof. The glue and the plastic and then the next layer of plastic and then more glue and then, that it gets a little overkill. Pardon
Yeah.
the word.
Oh, yeah, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, well, until next time, have a good one. We will miss you. We'll see you on the Facebook page.
We'll see you there. Bye.
Bye.